So folks, it's Prepper Al here again, and we're going to be talking about the one and only Boris Johnson, or Bojo the Clown, as I like to call him. He has got to be the next Tory leader, and he's got to be the next Prime Minister before a general election. The chances are, if he does become the next PM, being coronated by the Tory party, he probably will have to call a general election. This is your chance to get rid of him as a PM and to get rid of the Tories out of office. Let's talk about Boris Johnson. Right. This is a man who, when he was Mayor of London, said that over his dead body would there be a new runway at Heathrow. And he said that he would lie in front of the bulldozers. It will not happen, not on his watch. He will never let it happen as a London mayor, as a MP, because he wasn't an MP at the time, or a future PM. He said it was not going to happen. And then guess what he did during the summer? He voted for it. He voted for that new runway at Heathrow. And when questioned about it, he said, oh well, it was a collective cabinet decision. Yeah, collective, as in everybody voted for, including him, when he said he wouldn't. Do you honestly want this man as Prime Minister? Let's talk about the 350 million on the big red bus. 350 million. He said that 350 million pound of the UK taxpayers' money goes to Europe every week. That big red bus implied that 350 million pound per week would go straight to the NHS. £350 million a week for the NHS. If I honestly believed that, I would have voted for Brexit. But I knew that was absolute BS. £350 million a week. That's 1.4 billion a month. A calendar month. Guess how much that is over a year? 16.8 billion. Extra for the NHS. If I was to believe that figure, I would have voted for Brexit. But I knew he was talking nonsense. Him and Farage talking nonsense. Even the following morning, Liam Foxall said, oh yeah, it won't be that amount yet at all. You know, it was completely lied to the British people about that. £350 million a week. Absolute nonsense. Now, I'm going to say this to you. If you're watching this and you've got cancer and you can't get the medication you need because the NHS can't afford it, well, you could have got that medication had that figure been honest, had that man not told you lies. If you've got a kid with one of these Johnny Random weird conditions, syndromes, 1 in a billion kids, and the only life-saving treatment is in the United States, well, if that figure was correct, that £350 million a week, then your kid would have had that life-saving treatment on the NHS. If the NHS had that £350 million a week, 1.4 billion extra a month, 16.8 billion extra a year, oh my god, the nation's ills would be cleared up. Oh, you've got cancer, Mr. Prepper Al. Oh, don't worry about it, pal. Let's just get me into the hospital. Get it all sorted out. Aye, no problem. Oh, your kid's got a rare condition. Might only have 6 months to live unless we do this operation. Aye, okay, no worries. Just sign her in. That would have been the reality of that extra money for the NHS. Your cancer drugs, alright. I'll pick them up at the chemist on the way home. Life-saving operations, you won't be waiting a year, 6 months, a year, 18 months. You would have got it within a week. Because the money would have been there. But that man lied. Where is that money? It doesn't get talked about anymore. Where is it? Absolute liars, a lot of them. Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, the Brexit Tories. Now, I'm not going to say, well, I did vote against Brexit, but as I said to you, if I really thought that figure was genuine and honest and that £350 million would have went to the NHS a week, I would have voted for Brexit. And I'm glad I didn't, because I knew that man was lying. So, we've covered Heathrow. We've covered the £350 million Brexit money that was promised, that has never got to materialise. Now we're going to talk about Boris Johnson and his US citizenship. So, he was born in America, and always up until 2016, he had dual nationality. He had a British passport and he had a US passport. And he made a lot of money in the United States, talking shite as usual. He wrote a lot of articles, newspaper articles, but he slipped under the radar. Now, we have the Inland Revenue, the Americans have the IRS, and he slipped under the radar. So he wasn't paying his taxes, but then the IRS got him because he sold his house in London and he made a fortune on it. And the IRS, because he was a US citizen, there was a legal loophole where he had to pay the IRS some of that money, and he went off his nut. He did the whole British thing, I'm not paying my taxes to a foreign country and all this nonsense, and he didn't want to pay his taxes, so he handed in his passport. He just renounced his citizenship just like that, a country that he loved, dual nationality that he loved. But when push come to shove, when he had to pay his taxes, nah, I'm not American, I'm British. He just changed his mind. That's the type of man that has got to be the next Prime Minister. He wants you, the great British public, to pay your taxes, your council tax, your income tax, your national insurance, your VAT, your inheritance tax, your death tax. Is that still a thing? Yeah, when you die you have to pay a tax. Ha! He wants you to pay your taxes, but he and his friends don't want to pay their taxes. And he was asked why it took him so long to renounce his US citizenship and adopt full British citizenship. He said, oh, it's a hard thing to do. Oh, but it didn't. It turned out that it wasn't. It turned out that it wasn't a hard thing to do, because he just handed his passport in and said, hey, I'm not a citizen anymore. The reason he kept it, because he was hedging his bets, because he thought about having a political career in the United States after the Mayor of London, after he was the Mayor. He's always wanted to be PM, but if it wasn't going to happen, he was going to do it in America. He joked on the David Letterman show that he might run for president. He acts like a clown, he talks like a clown, but you know what? He's a very intelligent man, and he means everything he says. Well, especially when he's hiding or covering up the lies. He could pull the wool over anybody's eyes. And you know what? If it was a possibility, he would have ran for Congress, the Senate. And you know what some silly Americans, they're like, oh, we love this guy. He's a liar. He's a poontang. That's what that man is. Do not allow this man to be PM. If he does become PM, vote him out. Vote him and the Tories out. Heathrow. The £350 million. His passport. Yeah, you pay your taxes. We'll pay your taxes, Boris. So you and your friends don't have to. No worries, pal. No worries. You're welcome. So that's Boris Johnson, folks. Do not vote Conservative. Do not allow that man to have his finger on the button. No way. Imagine this. Pardon my French. You've got that North Korean guy. You've got the Chinese leader who's just became president for life. We've got Boris Johnson. If you think Theresa May's a joke as a Prime Minister, you've got to have this guy. No way. Right, so that's my political man rant of the day. Boris Johnson, Conservative, bad. Vote Labour, vote Liberal Democrat, vote SNP. Anybody except Tory. That man will steal the sugar out of your tea. That man will lie to your face. He will promise you the world, and then he'll stab you in the back. Right, folks, Prepper Al here. See you later.